Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. If you're watching this, then the experiment is a success. I've successfully shot the video on my phone, edited it on my phone, and uploaded it to YouTube. One of the reasons I took a bit of a hiatus from making videos is the editing process got to be a bit of a pain in the ass. I like making videos. I like chatting with you guys. I love my selfie stick. I miss my selfie stick. But what I didn't enjoy was uploading the footage and opening Premiere Pro and importing the videos and splicing them together and rendering them and all that stuff. You know, it's kind of fun, but in a way, it's not really what I enjoyed getting out of the experience. I liked talking to you guys, and I like getting the feedback and the interaction. And you know, editing a video can be time consuming and a pain in the ass, and so and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I just wanted a hiatus, and yeah, I just that was really what was keeping me away. So hopefully I've got things more streamlined, and I can talk to you guys and do everything on the iPhone and upload, and if you're watching this, then I guess it worked. So, where am I? I'm on the outskirts of Tokyo. This is a suburb of Tokyo. All right, so the whole family moved to Tokyo. All right, I was living in Fukuoka before. Behind me is a suburb of Tokyo, and yeah, Tokyo is different. It's bigger. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I think that's another reason I didn't make videos for a while. I was just sort of getting my bearings straight. You know, it's funny, I did make a few videos, but I never uploaded them. It's just, I really sort of just wanted to acclimate to Tokyo. And I have. The older daughter, Sarah, is in, she's in kindergarten, and we've got both girls in swimming lessons. I found a sports club I like. So I've sort of settled. And I think it was a little bit, you know, when I got here, I wanted to make a few videos, but I was just, there was so many loose ends I needed to tie up as far as just making the transition complete, and I feel like it is now. So yeah, I'll be able to take you guys onto the mean streets of Tokyo, which are not mean at all. Tokyo is a lovely place, and the people are lovely. In fact, I'll relay a little story about how lovely they are in an upcoming video. But what do I talk about today? Well, what about what's on my wrist? This is a military watch. This is a Vietnam era military watch, and Hamilton and Benris, I believe, made these for the U.S. military. And what's the story on this watch? I mean, how did I get it? Well, my mother, who lives in the States, she knows that I'm into watches, and so I told her once, I said, if you ever, you know, are at a yard sale, or she loves antiquing and yard sales and thrift shops, and she's into plates and pottery. But I said, if you ever come across an old Rolex, then, you know, think about picking it up. And I gave her a few brands that are, you know, everybody knows, you know, the Rolex brand, so I don't think you're gonna get a good price on a Rolex, even at a like a yard sale or something like that. But I told her, you know, Patek and Jaeger-LeCoultre, and just gave her a few brands to look out for. And I said, you know, if they're just dirt cheap, pick them up, because you know, why not? Well, she found this watch, and it wasn't working, and it was dirt cheap. So she picked it up, and she took it to, you see her daughters fighting in the background. All right. Okay. Focus. Okay. So she took it to have it worked on, and it was going to be like a Christmas present for me. And so instead of sending it, we actually, the whole family went back for the summer to visit, and she just held on to it, and so I got it. And what can I tell you about it? I'm gonna do a close up in a minute, but she had it serviced, and it took a long time to have it serviced because the guy that did it, he's a real perfectionist, and he didn't want to put anything non-original, and so it needed a stem, winding stem, and I'm probably going to butcher the facts here, but he could have put like a half win in that would have been like aftermarket and would have gotten it working, but he wanted to keep it original, so he searched for a full length stem. I have no idea what I'm talking about, by the way. So, but anyway, the stem. He wanted to get a full, non aftermarket, original, authentic stem for the winding thing. As you can see, I'm a real expert as far as the internals of watches go. So anyway, he looked and he finally found it and got it working. And so when we were there, we went to his watch shop, and my 4-year-old daughter Sarah threw up in his shop. She was car sick, but he was really cool about it, by the way. Gave her a bottle of water and some paper towels. So picked up the watch, and he charged $100 for getting it running again. So it was a great price. So I think I want to say it cost my mother probably $5, and it wasn't running. And this is the original strap, and the $100 service. And so now I have this sort of vintagey looking military watch, which is it's cool. It's just again, right after I give you this intro, I'm going to show you some close-ups of it. I will say that at his shop, one of the cool things that he had was, I believe it was called an Accutron. Forgive me if I'm mixing up my watches, but it was a watch that that runs via a tuning fork, and you can actually hold it up to your ear and hear the hum of the tuning fork. Really cool. It wasn't expensive either. It was like a 100 something. I might pick one of those up in the future, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't need any more watches, but I just love the fact that you could hear the note, and I wonder what note it was. I wish I had asked my daughter. She is really good with notes, and so I wish I had held it up to her ear and, was it an A? I don't know. I'm not sure, but anyway, they're apparently pretty accurate, and so anyway, let's take a look up close at this thing. All right, here we are. So there's a wrist shot. Now it's got a NATO-esque strap, nylon, but I kind of like this strap because it doesn't have that NATO sort of, the bundle that NATOs usually have. All right, let's take it off and look at it a little bit. Okay, well, let's talk about the strap first. So, like I said, it's nylon. I asked the watchmaker what width it was because I thought about getting a new strap, and it wasn't like he could answer it easily. In fact, I don't really remember what he said, but it's sort of like an in-between type lug measurement. So it's got just a really simple buckle that is kind of rusty and crusty, but I do prefer this over a NATO because it it sits on your wrist like a regular strap, and I'm not so crazy about that bundle up here that come with NATOs. All right, let's take a look at it. Now it's manual wind, and I think it's pretty, there you go. It's got kind of a tight crown, but I've noticed it's gotten a little smoother as I've used it. Of course, it's a military watch, so you have the 1 to 12, and then on the inside you've got the other hour markers for military time, and lug holes if I ever do want to change the strap. Everything's really simple. Everything's really simple and clean. I think this is a acrylic crystal, and it runs about, at the most, 10 seconds fast a day, but sometimes less, sometimes as little as 4. So I think positioning probably plays a big part. And as you can see, it's got a really vintagey look because the hands are a little bit stained, and the second marker as well. And I thought this was a tritium dialed watch, actually, that had some glow to it, but I noticed that if you charge it up, it brightens it up. So I suppose this is Luminova, but it doesn't hold a charge. You can really blast it with a fluorescent flashlight, and a minute later you wouldn't be able to tell. So I've worn this to bed a few times, and it's when I wake up in the night, to use the bathroom, I can check the time. But if I wake up in the night and it's dark, it's impossible to tell the time. So I really don't sleep in this watch. I really do like to know the time in the middle of the night. So all right, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so there you go. I like the ends of the hour marker and the minute marker. I like that little thing that comes out, that little protrusion. All right, let's take the strap off and you can see the back. Now, I really don't know a whole lot about this watch. It's just kind of a fun watch, and sort of a low stress watch in the sense that I don't have to worry about really anything happening to it. I mean, if something did happen to it, it would kind of suck. And I guess there is a certain amount of sentimental value because my mother gave it to me. But when I wear this watch, it's it's not like I have this multi-$1,000 thing on my wrist that sort of feels like an albatross, which Rolexes can be, the expense of them can be pretty heavy if you're it's the middle of the night and you're half drunk in the middle of a city. I'll get into that in another video, but I really could just sort of rest easy taking this around any city, if something happened to it. Like I said, it would kind of suck, but it's not gonna like break the bank or anything like that if something did happen to it. All right, so on the case back, there's a lot of numbers. March 1973, that's the date. So I'm sure if you put these numbers in, you could probably find out more about it than I really know about it. And the watchmaker, he didn't really know a whole lot about it either. I mean, I think that there's so many variations, and there were so many commissioned by Benris and Hamilton, and maybe even other companies that really finding the history of this watch is tough. Okay, my God, this is embarrassing. I don't know when the Vietnam War ended. Okay, I'll be sure to look that up before I upload this video. So spare me the. Yeah, I should know that, but okay. Well, I was born in '76, so So pretty damn sure that the Vietnam War was finished by then. 3 years before I was born. Um, so that's kind of cool. This is a older watch than I am, and that's kind of neat that when a watch is older than its wearer. All right, so yeah, there you have it. I wanted to say something about the watch that I forgot. What was it? Oh yeah, about the seals. So I asked him, it's a military watch, so shouldn't it be able to, be taken through a wet, humid jungle, the Vietnam jungle and all that stuff. And I don't know why I associate this watch with Vietnam. Maybe that's just maybe it's just a straight up military watch. But anyway, um, military watch should be waterproof. And I asked him, and he sort of shrugged and was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't take it in water." So I don't know how this wound up being a military watch. Maybe at the time they had seals, and maybe maybe the seals haven't been replaced, or maybe he didn't replace them, or I don't. Or who knows? Maybe he just said that because it's a vintage watch, and you got to be careful with vintage watches. I mean, if you're going to take I would never really take this in water, but you know, um, it's nice to not have to worry about it being rained on. If I get caught in the rain, I don't have to take it off and put it in my pocket or anything like that. So, but I probably would, just because I'm really unsure what's going on with that crown, and it's not like it's a screw down crown, but it's just a regular manual wind. Anyway, I wear this sometimes, and in fact, I've worn it for the last week. I haven't had a Rolex on in a week, and it's just a cool, casual, simple watch. I'm sort of a minimalist, and so I do like clean dials, and of course this dial is filled with numbers, but that doesn't bother me at all, because they've got a purpose. No date, obviously, and it's relatively small. If I had to guess, I would probably guess this is a 36 millimeter. But anyway, I'm sorry I don't have more facts, but it's just sort of a simple watch that I dig, and I'll remember my mother forever having given me this watch. It's always cool when somebody you love gives you a watch, any watch. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.